I think is one of my favorite plants. So this is a Chinese evergreen Silver Bay. This plant grows so much. So I've got it in an 8-inch pot here. It used to be in a 6-inch pot, and it could probably go in a 10-inch pretty soon. It is constantly growing new leaves. Like, there's a new one there. These kind of light colored ones are brand new. This plant, like, it's so far away from the window. So it's here, and it's that far away from a small east-facing window. It gets almost no light, and it grows nonstop. I barely have to water it, and I just love this plant. It looks so beautiful. This is my Monstera Deliciosa. It's in my bedroom right now because she has thrips. I've been treating her. When I got her, she was like this tall. I think this leaf was here, but all of these are new. In my bathroom, I just have this. These are just cuttings of my golden pothos that's in the kitchen. And this is actually a Calla Lily that my husband and my son got for me for Mother's Day. It used to have flowers, but they all died, and it's just kind of the leaves now. It's not doing too great. And then this guy right here, it's on the top of my toilet. This is a type of snake plant. I will put the name on the screen. I don't know what the name is. I got it not too long ago, and like up from here up is all new growth. On my bedside table here, I have this spider plant, and it looks really sad because my cat knocked it over, and it like a lot of the dirt fell out. I need to repot it, but this was one of the first plants that I got, and it's been neglected. This poor plant, I really need to do something with it. But okay, so I have this window. This is a west facing window. It gets really strong afternoon sun. Over here I have this Calathea. I don't remember the name of it. I will put it on the screen. This is an Alocasia African mask. And when I got this one, I got it on a discount because it was just this leaf and then a few small ones that were dying, and it stayed just this leaf for so long. And then this summer, these two new ones have grown. This is my Monstera Adansonii. I got this plant when I got it. It was like infested with gnats and the soil was soaked. Some of the leaves are yellowing at the bottom here, but it's all vined up this trellis. This thing grows so crazy fast. Okay, and then over here, this is my neon pothos. This I got as two little like 4-inch plants, and I potted them together, and they were really small, like maybe to about here, and all down here is new growth this summer. This here is a Peperomia Ginny, I think. Honestly, this kind of gets neglected. And then down here, this I believe is an angel wing begonia. I just got this one, but it's growing pretty fast. It got kind of leggy since I got it, so I moved it here for more light. This is a collection of babies from my Pilia peperomioides. I have a few of them. I'll show you. These leaves are not doing too hot. I left them in like gross water way too long, and I planted them, but the new growth looks okay. Down here, this is a Hoya Crimson Splash, I want to say. I'll put the name on the screen. I could be totally wrong. This is pretty new as well, and everything from here down has been new growth in the last like month and a half. And this is a Heartleaf Philodendron. This one was in my bedroom, but I moved it because I put the Monstera in there and I didn't want it to get thrips. This one grows crazy fast as well. It doesn't really need a lot of light, so it'll probably grow pretty fast right next to this window. This was just a little propagation of the neon pothos. The original cutting that I made is dying, but there's this cute new little leaf, so I'm just letting it do its thing. And this crazy thing is Pilia peperomioides. I might be saying that wrong. I probably am. I got this from Walmart a long time ago. It's got a bunch of babies. I've cut a ton of babies off of this thing. It was growing straight, but it was so leggy when I got it, and it's just kind of growing crooked, but I'm leaving it that way because I think it looks kind of funny. This is my jade plant. I pulled it and it came loose from the soil, so I have to like repot it and fix it, but this was one of the first plants that I got as well. This, I'm probably gonna say it wrong, but it's a Schefflera. It's an umbrella plant. When I first got it, it did not like me, and I wasn't giving it enough light. These guys like a ton of light, so I put it right in the window, and it's growing lots. You can see there's a little baby growth there. This is our Ficus elastica burgundy, or burgundy rubber tree. This is my husband's, one of his favorite. He named it Ron after Ron Burgundy. It's a really beautiful plant. It's got like that burgundy kind of color on the underside, and then it's this really deep green. This is a Ficus elastica ruby, and we had it in a spot that did not get enough light for a while. So you can see here all this really pink foliage. This is what it's supposed to look like, and we had it in like right in the window in the hot summer, and then we moved it, and all this light green foliage has grown since. So I moved it closer to the window, hoping to get some of that pink back. But this one has grown a ton since we got it. When I got it, it was in a 6-inch pot, I want to say, and this is a 10-inch. And this guy here is a Ficus altissima. I got this from Home Depot. When I got it home, I realized it was infested with spider mites, and I pretty much got rid of them, but all this like weird foliage that you see here is damaged from the spider mites, and it got kind of leggy because I didn't have it close enough to the sun while I was quarantining it. Okay, over here, this is a Stromanthe Trio Star. This plant has been growing like crazy. It was losing some of the variegation. Like you see, these ones don't really have any. These ones don't have much variegation. I moved it closer to the sun. It's getting more light, and now it's getting more variegated leaves. And the underside is like a hot pink. I love this plant, and it's kind of like a Calathea, so it closes up at night and then it opens up during the day. This little guy I just got today. It's a type of snake plant. I'm not sure exactly what kind. I will try and find out and put it on the screen. And this is another new to us plant. We got it, I want to say a week ago. This is a Ficus elastica taniki. We used to have one of these a while ago, and it got infested with thrips, and I threw it out because it was really small and I didn't want to deal with it. But look at how beautiful this one is. It looks like watercolor or something. I love this plant. This is another semi-new plant. I'll turn it a bit so you can see. This is called a roadkill cactus because it's got kind of like tire tread marks on it, and it's flat, almost like it got run over by a car. And then over here, this is my marble queen pothos. When we got this, it was also 2 little 4-inch pots. They were just like 1 or 2 strands each, and I put them together in this 6-inch pot, and it grew like crazy. It was actually probably like, it was down to the floor, and I just trimmed it up and sold a bunch of the cuttings, so now it's a much more reasonable length. But this one has this beautiful like white variegation on it. And if you don't put it in enough sun, the variegation will kind of turn yellow here. So make sure that these get a decent amount of light. Okay, and then back here, this is a string of dolphins. It was in my kitchen and it hated it. I think it got way too much sun there, so I put it here. I had to pick off a ton of dead leaves. It's not doing too hot. They kind of look like little dolphins. I don't know if you can tell. This is just a Hoya heartleaf. This is just a leaf cutting. It'll never grow into a full plant. I've had this for almost a year. It'll die eventually. It's just kind of cute. And then down here, this is another Pilia peperomioides. This is one of the first plants I got. It was really small when I got it, and it went through hell and back. This thing has been dropped so many times by my toddler. It's got babies. This is also called a friendship plant because it grows all these babies that you can share. I've cut, I want to say 12 babies out of this already. They kind of shoot up in the soil next to it, and they also grow off of the stem. I have it staked right now with a paintbrush because it was falling over. Back here, this is a Peperomia Hope. This one has grown a ton this summer as well. I love this plant. I did take a few cuttings off of this when I was selling some cuttings. Yeah, I probably need to repot this soon, but it's so pretty and it's very low maintenance. And this plant here is one of my favorites. This is an Alocasia zebrina, and it's called that because of the kind of stripy zebra pattern on the stem. And these leaves are huge. Like, look at that. It's just gorgeous. I love it. Some people have a hard time with Alocasia. Honestly, I don't really do much with this plant. You just have to make sure it never completely dries out. Something to know about Alocasias is they're like a minimal plant, so they're not gonna gain a ton of foliage. So when I first got this, I'll see if I can insert a picture, but it was really short. And it had these 2 leaves that have since died. I think it had a couple more that were dying and I cut them off. It had 2 leaves, and what happens is they just kind of, the leaves all grow out of the next one's stem. So on the back here, there's this little bump. That is eventually gonna grow to be another leaf that will come out of this one. And then the oldest leaf, which is this guy here, will probably die off. That's just what Alocasia do, is they will only get 4 or 5 leaves. So if that's happening, don't think that you're killing it. That's what it's supposed to do. And each leaf will kind of get bigger and better. Like seriously, this plant was tiny. I think it was in like a 6-inch pot when I got it. It was maybe 2 feet tall. And now it takes up like a big chunk of that corner. People who sit on my couch sometimes have to turn it around because it tickles them in the face. Over here on my coffee table, this is a rattlesnake Calathea. It's sort of closing up right now because it's nighttime. The Calathea will kind of fan out for the sun in the morning and then close up at night. And the bottom is this beautiful purple color. These guys are a low light plant. I have it, I don't know, maybe 10 feet from this is a south facing window, by the way. I have it about 10 feet from a south facing window. If you put it too close to the window, the coloring will kind of fade. But the leaves will be really faded and pale, and that's how you know it's got too much light. This was another one that was in my bedroom, but I took it out because I did not want it to get thrips. Oh, there's my cat. Hi, Luna. This is Luna. And this is Ellie. Say hi, Ellie. Hi, girl. And then going into my kitchen, on my table, here's another Pilia. This guy I got from Walmart. It's got tons of babies. I think honestly it could use a spot with a bit more light, but I really like the way it looks on my table, so it's just gonna have to learn to live there. In the corner, this is a fiddly fig. I believe this is the Ficus lorata bambino, which is just like the small version. I could be wrong though, but it was pretty small when I got it, but it's growing like pretty big leaves. This guy had spider mites too, and they didn't really seem to do anything to it. I got rid of the spider mites, but it was about here when I got it, and all that is new growth. And I've only had this, I wanna say 4 months. For this window here, this is a Florida Beauty. When I got this plant, I didn't like it. It was only like 4 leaves. I wanna say I got it just before the summer, and it's grown a lot. Some of the leaves have died. This is my aloe, and I'm actually so amazed at this plant. It's actually green. For the longest time, this guy was like reddish brown. We put googly eyes on the pot. I put it in this pot the day I got it over a year ago. It's hardly grown. I've had to cut some off of it, but I think it's finally happy here. It turned green. I think it was like super thirsty. My husband waters the plants a lot, and he's kind of scared to water the succulents, so he doesn't. So they end up like going really thirsty for a while, but it's got a new little growth there. Here's just a little cutting that I took from the string of dolphins when I was trimming it up, because I'm hoping to kind of make it a bit more full again, but it's already growing little roots. I find this at Dollarama if you're Canadian. It's $2 at Dollarama, and it comes with these little glass containers. It's great for propagation. Okay, so over here next to my sink, I've got a bunch of plants around my sink here. So I'll start with this. This is a lemon lime maranta. This is a prayer plant. It'll kind of fold upwards when it gets dark and then fan out at night. This one grows like crazy. I've cut a bunch off of it. It was like almost in the sink. And there's a new little leaf there. This one flowers a lot too. It doesn't have any flowers right now, but it makes these kind of light purple, tiny little flowers, and it got them all through the summer, and they were always all over my counter. This is my golden pothos. This is another one that I've had to trim a lot. It goes kind of behind there. This was hanging down into my sink, and I trimmed some up. There's some cuttings of it there, and also in my bathroom. This one started as a cutting that I got from my mother-in-law. It was just a few strands, and it's grown like crazy since I got it. This is my pearls and jade pothos. This was really short as well when I got it, and this is a new little cutting that I planted in there to make it a bit more full. Over here, I just have some different kind of pothos cuttings. So this is a pearls and jade, this is a neon, and what is this? I think this was part of my marble queen that was reverting. This is a calanchoe. This was my son that was in his bedroom and neglected, and I've been trying to save it. This is a Venus flytrap, and it's trying to flower right now. I don't know if it's gonna focus. I got this one and it was really healthy, and then I put it in too much sun and all the bits died off. And then I thought it was garbage, and I went to throw it away, and I noticed some new growth, and now the new growth can like handle the amount of sun, so I'm just leaving it there. This is a variegated jade. It's got kind of pink and white in it. I think it's really pretty. This is, I want to say it's called a panda plant. This one was in a succulent planter that I got from my grandmother-in-law, and I just about killed, but I rescued this before I threw it away, so that's why it's kind of leggy.
This is Big Daddy Long.
Okay, my husband just came home from work with another plant. So this is another, oh my God, it's huge. This is another Ficus elastica burgundy, or a burgundy rubber tree. These were only 10 bucks at his work, so he like had to get it, but look at how big. Like this is a new leaf that's gonna unfurl here, but look at how big this newest one is. Like, oh my God, it's beautiful. Okay, this little guy is another plant that has been through hell. It is a variegated bear paw, so the little leaves look kind of like bear paws. My son dropped this like 5 times. So many of the leaves died off. That's why a lot of them are little. And this guy up here, this is my string of hearts. It's actually 2 4-inch pots that I stuck inside that thing there. This thing loves sitting right next to my window. It's doing really well. It flowers, and the flowers look kind of funny. This one, I just trimmed a ton as well. It was way down to here, and I trimmed and sold the cuttings. Kind of dark. This is my last one. I have no idea what this is called, but it's been hanging here on my door. It's not really doing the best. I don't know what it is. Can somebody tell me what it is in the comments, please?